Welcome to this Windows Computer and Technology channel. And one of the questions that I got asked today, and it has to do with something that's always been the case. And we're going to try to explain it in a way. So the question comes with the fact that Apple hardware has, one CPU that is made by Apple, and the hardware is made by Apple, and one OS that runs on all of that, which means in the system itself, in the computer itself, it's one system that runs on hardware that's made by the manufacturer of that same operating system. So it's kind of simpler because there's not that much difference. There's a lot of choice. The overall hardware choice then comes from the fact that external devices can be added, like a printer, for example. But for the most part, you're running code on hardware made by the manufacturer. So it's kind of make things a little simpler. And the question comes with, well, if there's ARM processors coming and all of these new CPUs by Intel and AMD, and isn't that going to make Windows, more difficult to run and maybe crash more and so on? Well, no, not technically if it's well done. And the reason why is it's because it's always been like that. Windows is actually something very different. Windows is an operating system that runs on hardware from third-party companies. Unlike Apple that runs the operating system and the hardware all together, which technically should make it more stable, better, faster, more, it should technically be better because of that. Windows itself has to rely on a set of instructions and on a way of working that enables it to actually work with hardware of different kind. Now, the question states a lot about the CPUs. Well, CPUs is not much of a difference because in PCs, when you look at the different processors, AMD and Intel, for example, for the most part, you're talking about architectures that are mostly the same all the time, just a little faster and sometimes with a few little tweaks here and there, but there's not really, much difference. Whatever code runs on one will run on the other. And the major difference mostly is on the ARM chips. The ARM chips, it requires a different code. And so that has its own Windows operating system that can run on it. So if you apply, and if Microsoft applies the same way of actually having Windows identify and work on different hardware, it's already like that today. If you look at your PC, your configuration of your PC, if I look at the device manager, for example, the hardware I have in my PC here is probably different from all the hardware you have on your PC. There could be similarities. There could be some of the things that actually work or are the same, but there are going to be a lot of different things that are not the same. And this is what makes Windows. Windows is a operating system capable of running in billions of configurations. I mean, it is literally billions of configurations. And it all works because there are standards. There's standards in the Windows driver setup, the way that things are done. There's, standards on how hardware has to obey rules dictated by the Windows operating system. And it's the same for all the internal hardware. So for the foreseeing future, it shouldn't be different. If the manufacturers obey the rules and Windows continues to be, working the same way and the code is done reliably, in 5 or 10 years, all of that hardware, whatever it is, will still be running Windows. And Windows should technically be pretty stable. It is, honestly, and it's a thing that not a lot of people understand. It's almost a miracle when you think about it of how Windows operating system can adapt to all the different configurations that exist in the PC world. It is a technical challenge to do so, and I think Microsoft does a pretty good job at it right now. It's not perfect like everything, but the task that they have to do is much greater than Apple with its own operating system running on its own hardware. So I don't see a future where it should be worse. It should actually be even better, because if they implement AI into coding, AI on different things, and find new ways of actually making simpler things, it should actually even improve over time. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.